if you don't have any form of income, then there is no way. But the one thing that I've noticed students take advantage of is opening their own businesses, and it's working perfectly for them. You would get that in a res, there are 5-6 people who do hair, and they do the same hairstyles with different price varieties. Always known about myself is that I can't make friends, and I can't approach another girl and say, hey, can you be my friend? But I can definitely approach a manager somewhere and say, sir, I can do this job. Can you give me this job? I think I can excel in this job. If you gave me this job, I have so-and-so traits, so-and-so skills, and I think this is how I will benefit your company. When you say 50-50, then you're going to put in 50% work and say,
and you'll be comfortable with failing. Failing will be something that you...
Can I explain this clearly to you guys? Let's say, I know this is a very broad example, but I want to try it.
So also let's articulate yourself properly, because
being goal-orientated, whereby you want to achieve dreams,
is for you to bring them back to perspective on their value and their worth.
Don't you want to repeat? We are waiting.
Okay.
Students.
Bafundi, welcome to the #1 student podcast in SA. You know, we're talking to you, and you. So, live on your screen, guys, it's the one and only Umongo Nyatu Tambo Kulu Putkatago Madlanga Kiza Bakazagilbis. And I'm with the one and only African Chris Brown on my far left. On my close left, you know, most it's the screen lady. The right, guys.
It's right on
I am nothing. Angazin
Angiko right.
What? Is it the shoes?
Telling about African Chris Brown. Associate 2024.
So guys, I wanna celebrate, guys. We were on TV, chief. We were on TV, chief. We made it to DSTV, guys. I just want to thank everyone there who believed in the vision and trusted that it's going to work. Yeah, we are on that long walk, and it's going closer and closer to freedom, chief. Another thing, we were dragged. So, I don't know, because we actually scheduled an episode. I don't know if it's going to be before or after this one, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Or if it happened already, I look forward to it again. So, today's topic, guys, we're going to be speaking about finding the opportunities that actually lie in university. That we see, some of them we don't even see, because it's something that if you haven't experienced something, you won't even pay attention to it. And you will never know that thing actually might give you the ticket to your next job. So I just want to speak on the context of what are some of the overlooked opportunities that lie in university that people and students actually overlook, that you think students actually overlook.
You go first, my lady.
I don't know. Overlooked.
Yeah, overlooked.
Meaning they don't put them in consideration.
Yeah, at all.
They don't take. I think it's the jobs that are offered by the university. In most cases, a lot of facilities on the university are actually operated by students. Obviously not when you're in first year, but I believe second year going up, in most universities that opportunities opened up to you. I wouldn't say students really overlook those things, because in some cases, the jobs are not really properly advertised. So it's not easy for students to actually get a hold of that information. And when they realize that, oh, the staff is actually students, then it's too late for them to even do something about it. So I wouldn't say that they overlook them per se, but I would say that the opportunities are not outwardly advertised. And in those jobs that are advertised, there's always certain requirements, right? And those requirements, some of them really don't allow students to try and venture into those opportunities.
Are you saying that those opportunities need a connection? They need connections, those ones?
No, I'm not saying they need connections. I'm just saying that some of them are enclosed, right? Like, for example, there are opportunities that are only opened to a certain facility or faculty. Why get a facility? Faculty, right? So you would get that only if nobody in that faculty shows interest, then do they reach out to the rest of the university, you know? And maybe it's because they want to, maybe it's because that's the field of that faculty. So it will first benefit those people before it will benefit the rest of the university going out.
No, it makes sense.
Yes.
Because in this context, I feel like students actually forget that in university, it's a place whereby we have to learn, make a lot of mistakes, and actually learn from them. So I feel like it's a platform, man, or a space that you have to find yourself and actually learn who you are. So my advice, it's actually for someone to try as much as they can, grab all the opportunities that come their way. Who have thought Kutsi Urumza was actually going to be a co-host of a podcast, but now right now he's actually sitting here. So I feel like it's a matter of not picking and choosing, because even something as like maybe following a political party, some of them end up being the student presidents.
And it leads them very far.
You see? And from there, they can go to elsewhere and say, okay, I was an SRC president in this place. Or they actually build a network there, an existing network, and they know on to which companies do they go to actually continue their journey or they continue their career.
Yeah, also students look at opportunities like that pays a lot of money. Even though they're still students, they're not looking at them as an opportunity to gain experience. They're looking at the money side.
Now that you mention that, I will say that opportunities that are overlooked are those of being in social groups. Being in certain social groups can actually put you in a certain place on the map. I feel like, let's say maybe if you're an athletic person, but you overlook that whole thing and you say, no, I'm in university, I'm no longer in high school, so I don't need to participate in high school in sports. That can give you a setback, because maybe you're a rugby player and you're like, no, but I'm not going to do that. You are allowing yourself to forfeit being part of the varsity cup, which could allow you later on to play maybe for the Blue Bulls or the Sharks or even Springbok.
You know, rugby.
Understand?
Why?
What do you gotta say?
No, she knows rugby, chief.
No, I don't know.
But it's a good point, man. I understand it. Mara, my thing is, are there opportunities only in campus? Because you mentioned people getting paid. What about the opportunities of being outside, like finding a job as a waiter or waitress? Or actually working at the petrol station? What about those opportunities?
I mean, most students don't want those jobs. They overlook them. I mean, they have a perception of being like seen as a waiter. Like they don't actually take those people in a sense of like they're working, they're making money. They're looking at them as in a sense of like they're working for people, like they're serving people.
Can I disagree with you?
Please.
Okay. I'm going to disagree with what he said.
Yeah, very, and I might do.
That's why we're having this conversation.
Okay. So the reason why I would personally disagree with you is because I don't think they overlook them because of money.
Okay.
I think any student will take any form of income if the opportunity allows them. I think the reason why students find themselves overlooking such opportunities of being either a waiter or a petrol attendant or a chef somewhere in the meantime, like maybe using the KFC as an example, right? It's because they think that those jobs are time consuming, which they wouldn't be lying, because as a waitress in an ordinary restaurant, you'd have to be there from like 6 to 7 hours, and that is school time as well. So that would mean that you're gonna miss your classes, or you won't have enough time to catch up when you do go back home, because then you would have spent 6 hours standing, and like they just think about it in a time consuming manner, rather as to it doesn't make money. Because any student will take any form of income that they can get, because where we are right now, we are in a state where survival of the fittest. If you don't have any form of income, then there is no way. But the one thing that I've noticed students take advantage of is opening their own businesses, and it's working perfectly for them. You would get that in a race, there are 5-6 people who do hair, and they do the same hairstyles with different price varieties, and it's totally up to you as a person where you choose to go, and that works for them greatly.
I also agree with that, because I feel like it's at the end of the day, man, it's all about building value into yourself and being able to stand out in a crowd, because that's the main purpose. It's like when, okay, let's say post university now, you have this experience that you've been doing hair, which is managing your own business. You've been part of like the SRC in university. And then now you have to construct your CV. You're able to add those experiences. Like I was also part of this forum. I was also doing my own hair, managing my own TikTok account. It also counts, because when you get there, they are like, okay, this person has a presence or a footprint in marketing, digital marketing. This person has a footprint in what? Leadership or collaborations or teamwork or reinforcement whatsoever. So I feel like it's all about you experiencing things and actually finding a footprint to stand on, which will actually build value to you. And it helps you outside there, because you get to be different, other than those CVs, the other ones that are only written, yeah, I can work under pressure. You have the experience, chief, to prove there, yeah, you can work under pressure. It's not only you saying you can do it. And I want to understand something in your own words, the context of networking. What do you think networking is? And do you think it's something that could work for a student in university or after university?
I think, okay, in my own words, I would say networking is putting yourself out there, be it physically, be it on social media. Yeah, I think those are the two aspects that I can use. And I think, yes, it would definitely benefit a student, because say maybe you join a running club. You're going there for your own reasons to stay fit, and you're thinking, fitness, whatnot. I know currently people are using the running club for other reasons, which is to get a partner or whatever, according to social media. But you can also, in those groups, you could actually meet the CEO of a certain company, and from just talking, that person you might just find out, okay, he's the CEO of this and this company, and I'm actually majoring in a course that they are used in
They're related.
Thank you very much. So then through talks, that's how you could basically get yourself an internship, because then that person would be familiar with you on a personal level, which allows them to give you a benefit of a doubt, because they know your character, they know you as a human being before they know you as a professional being. And that way they're able to give you a second chance when it comes to you being a professional being. Also, just being in a running club says a lot about you. For example, it says that you're a disciplined person if you show up a lot, and that will make him or her, as the CEO of that company, know that if this person were to come to my company, I would know that consistency is actually one of their benefit of their traits, and then it would be easy for you to.
It's actually interesting that you're putting it in that context, because you're putting yourself out there to build yourself value, but you're gaining skills that you're not even aware of.
Yes.
So it's like you're teaching you're growing another personnel outside of you being you, which actually helps you to be a better person. Like you just said, man, you will never know who's actually in the room, especially when you're outside and exploring those opportunities, because I want to make, there was a Minister of Department of Education chief, days ago, he had Singat. So the people that got to actually meet that Minister of the Department of Education is the people that were working at Singata, the chefs, and also some of the SRC students. So do you see that, what if that SRC student is doing public relation or politics.
Political science, yes.
You see, so they get the opportunity now to meet with someone that's already an expert in this field, already has done it and has the proof to show and provide. So you can actually get that time to actually elevate yourself in a 30 seconds PowerPoint, power presentation, man. And sell yourself to them. And who knows, maybe you can be the PR first of that person, move over to being the intern or whatsoever. But it's very important. And I want to get back to the question that I asked you about networking. I feel like networking, we're not talking about going out and ushele lo ntombazana omuhle lo. That's not networking, guys. Networking is looking for opportunities that you want to explore, using the platforms like LinkedIn, using the platforms like meetup.com, and also like going to events. It could be any event, either an industry event or going to these students forums. And yeah, so if next time you're doing networking and you think shelling tombazane band and asking for your number, her and number, and putting it on your contact is networking, it's not, chief. So moving over to something else. I want to know some of the challenges. Are you actually working in like the student department? Because I know you're working somewhere in university. I saw you in this university staff lounge. I was like, hey, she's having it good, chief. So that's why I'm asking. Are you working somewhere around?
I am working in one of the university's departments, but I'm not full staff, I'm student staff.
Mara, you still staff, chief?
Okay.
Mara,
I don't have a staff number.
So tell us.
Even if I have a staff number, I don't have a staff card.
So the connection, how's the plug?
There's no connection, there's no plug. I had been asking around since first year. One thing about me, I've always been goal driven. Also, I know that I really suck at making friends. I don't know how to make friends. I'm very awkward. I'm very socially awkward when I have to make friends. The only thing I know how to do is awkwardly ask for a job. So I've been putting myself out there since first year. I couldn't work for the university in my first year because I was new, and there's a rule in the university that I go to that you can't just work when you just arrived, because what do you know? You barely know your schoolwork. What will you know about work in the school facilities, right? Or institution facilities. So then from high school going into, I think I had like a 3-year gap year. In that period, I'd been jumping from restaurant to restaurant. I didn't really work like a long period of time. I just worked like 6 months, 2 months. I did work in a school, I think it's called Rose Tech. I don't know if anybody knows that college. It's a college, I think it's...
You don't know Rose Tech College?
Okay, thank you. Somebody knows Rose Tech. I did work in Rose Tech in their call center. And finally, when I came to Cape Town, I worked in a bar for like 6 months.
Epa?
Yes.
They had you?
Yes.
Why
Only
you this
because
short?
of my experience. I did have experience in like that field where I was working with alcohol, or rather alcoholic beverages. Yes. That as well as food.
Seems like you have a lot of experience than any of us in here. Aye.
And it's so funny to watch.
Listen, I don't want to be stepping on anybody's toes.
It's like you fact checking your own information.
Also, our fact checker is not here, so it's only fair.
Hey, it's funny, man.
It's only fair. So yes, and then eventually, so since like I said, I've been asking questions since my first year. Eventually, in the second year, I went one of the good days and I said, hey, do you think this could happen for me? And they said, if you come back second year, first thing as early as the end of January or early February, then we might just have something for you. And in my luck, that's exactly how it happened. And I've been there ever since.
So what's the department that you asked to? That you actually asked for that? If there's someone who's a second year also that can actually explore that opportunity.
Okay, so I know that I'm good in human king. No, come back. Kutiwan. People skills.
People skills,
My
eh.
people skills are very good. So I
Okay.
knew that working with people would work best for me. I went to where I would be able to interact and work with students, right? So I was going to different facilities, but where I got the opportunities was in our institution's library at one of our campuses. There is an area that is like a computer lab. That is where I'm working, and I'm helping students that are not familiar with
But
the computer.
do you have any footprint in like IT or?
No.
So you also learned there and you were trained.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that I know the basics of using a computer, being like your basics on your BCA type of
BCA type
yes, well,
Type of theory.
yes. So I don't know anything further going into IT, like programming or coding or anything like that. But the basis to introduce somebody who doesn't know a computer, because we still have such people who don't really know, and some of them need help for them to even navigate their own laptops when they are back in their rooms. So we help those people. We also help them navigate around the institution's system, because the institution has its own system that it's working with in their libraries as well as their computer labs. So yes.
But I wanna talk about something. I think I will talk about it, but not now. Right now, I wanna talk about the nature and Mother Nature, which is the real cup of respect. Tribe Coffee. Get your own Tribe Coffee, guys. Link down on the description below. This is a wonderful coffee. Like Nishu the last week, Urum's Alive loves this coffee so much. He was not a coffee lover up until he tasted this one. So if you think you don't like coffee, try a tribe of respect, which is the real cup of respect, which is the coffee tribe. Right now. Yeah. And also like the podcast, Chief. This is every student's dream, man. So we would like to take this opportunity to thank Singata Cafeteria by hosting us on this amazing venue that they have. So if you're a student and you're looking for a place to chill out at and actually get something to eat, definitely go to Singata Cafeteria and actually get yourself a meal and relax. Because look at this place, man. They have comfortable couches. They have a screen you can actually see and get entertained. They have a beautiful atmosphere. It's quite refreshing. You wouldn't even tell that you're in a university. So get yourself a Singata experience. Shop, shop. So, guys, we were talking about exploring experiences and also the career paths. Yeah, like my track of thought now is really running away, Chief. What were we talking about, Gambe?
We were going to introduce our fellow Chris Brown. He was going to tell us about his experience.
Because he's working, Chief.
Well, I was.
Hi, guys, I wanted, before anything else, I wanted to actually mention that it's important to actually start, because the moment you start swinging, guys, you will never know when you're going to hit a home run. So it's important to start as a person and knowing very well, Guti, it's not going to happen on a single day. It's going to take probably hours and days and weeks and years. But the moment you actually establish something, that's you building your own brand, your own growth, and your own value. So if when you think you're too, yeah, I mean, what are my high school's previous students, classmates, or learners are going to say when they see me there on content, TikTok? They don't care about you, those people, Chief. They're pushing their own life. So
and
when
even if they care, they're going to just pull you back. So it's better to run in your own lane.
serious, because you will never know what's going to make it out there for you or actually make you be that person that you want to be. So if when you're busy thinking about it, they're drawing blueprints and planning forever, it's not going to help, guys, because the person that actually knows more about their business is the person that's actually out there starting it. Because there's this phrase that someone said, I think I was watching this YouTube podcast, whereby this person actually said, the people that with most experience, they were made reference to Elon Musk. I know when I know Elon Musk. So they said Elon Musk is better and experienced than another person that actually spent their time on theory and they took 5 years to launch a rocket. While in that 5 years, he was busy like launching rockets and failing and failing and failing. So if you scale them, the person that was busy with theory and the person that was busy with practical, you'll find out that actually Elon Musk knows a lot about the business and the space he's working in than the person who knows the theory, which I like to put into context with what the course that I'm doing. I'm doing marketing. So I always tell the people that are around me that you're doing marketing, man. You have to think like a marketer. You chose this course because you want to convince people or change their perspective about brands and all that. Put yourself out there, sell yourself to a company. Tell them, guys, I can do this for you. I'm currently a student, and then start doing it while you're doing your schoolwork. Because sometimes, Chief, we learn a textbook forever, Chief, the whole year. And I would ask you the last day of the year, what is this thing? You would fail to answer me.
Yeah, also, I think students become more comfortable at rest. Like, they relax so much. They don't actually put themselves out there to opportunities. You see, when you start feeling comfortable, you never do anything.
But I really don't think it's comfort, man. I think some of the things are just like fear, imposter syndrome, you know? Sometimes you're thinking, okay, you know what, this week I'm gonna go job hunting. But then you look in the mirror and something tells you, you're not gonna be able to.
You see, the minute you think about it a lot,
But
that's blocking you from
no,
actually doing it.
Imposter syndrome is a thing. Imposter syndrome is a thing. You could believe in yourself, but there's going to be something that at the back of your mind that's going to be like, but you can't do this. That's, some people cannot fight imposter syndrome. Some people actually, the imposter wins over them. So it takes time. And if you didn't have it, like if you don't have proper backing, for example, some people, when they don't have experience, they even let that get to them. They're like, yo, Mina, I don't even have like experience. My grades are not even that good. You know, what is going to make this company want to take me? You understand?
Do you know what
I'm not even confident. I'm not. So they telling themselves all these other negative things where, like, you could maybe they probably need like a very confident friend to help them and say, hey, but you can do this. You know, they sometimes you need a drive. Sometimes you need somebody to kick you in the back because you can't kick yourself. You understand? And then I think that's what allows a lot of students to hold back.
I understand your point, but I wanna a bit kind of like a disagree on it, because I feel like there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
And that phrase is not just a phrase, but it's really like a definition of truth. So if you're saying someone has imposter syndrome, I'm sure there's someone out there that actually dealt with such a situation, but they actually overcome it. So there's always a solution for a certain problem.
Exactly.
But you know, I get it, you know, when you are in the problem, it feels like you don't have a solution and it feels like nothing is going to come.
But the first step, I feel like, look and search about people. Just go to
Hence,
Google.
I'm saying sometimes you need a group of people, right? Sometimes you need a backing. Like I said, I'm very awkward with making friends. But the one thing that I've always known about myself is that I can't make friends, and I can't approach another girl and say, hey, can you be my friend? But I can definitely approach a manager somewhere and say, sir, I can do this job. Can you give me this job? I think I can excel in this job. If you gave me this job, I have so-and-so traits, so-and-so skills, and I think this is how I will benefit your company.
Mara, how are you not able to make friends?
Listen, I do not, you see, that's why when it comes to friendship, I have imposter syndrome. I would rather stay in my room than to go make a friend. But I can go out and look for a job any day. I think it's the part where I think my brain tells me that I work better in professional settings than I do in personal settings. I think that's what messes me up. You understand?
Well, you did mention that you don't have that the backing to push you to do things that you want to do. How are you gonna get those backing if you don't actually approach the people?
This is where I was going with this.
Okay, please.
I'm gonna use the friendship thing. My push for friendship is my mother. At one point, she was telling me, friends are not good. Yeah. Now that wear off on me, and I really don't see the good in friends, right? But now she's the one coming back and saying, hey, at that time, you were a teenager and your friends and you were barely making the correct decisions. I was trying to just get you out of that group. You understand? I wasn't saying people as a whole are bad. So right now, she's the person that if I feel like I need to make a friend, she's like, go out there, go to a restaurant, sit, smile with people, talk to people. Think of it as professional. Eventually, it will slowly get to being a personal relationship. You understand?
But do you think that if things happened another way, other than how they actually transpired with you and your mom, with the friendship, do you think you would be in a different situation right now?
No.
Do you think you would be in the same
I'd still be in
situation?
the same situation because my mom saying that my friends were bad for me didn't stop me from hanging out with my friends. I hung out with my friends for I think our friendship lasted 9 years before I actually realized that those people, I'm not saying they were bad for me, but we were bad for each other. We barely made the correct decisions. We made the worst decisions that came in our direction. We went as far as stealing somebody's father's alcohol in the house. You know, we never.
But we all have to go through
We
this,
never
Chief.
made. But this is what made. This is what. Okay, let me give you my mother's perspective. From grade 1 to grade 8, I had one friend, right? And that one friend was an A student. She came from a very well background. All her parents were educated siblings. Everybody was just groomed in that education environment. And she made the most sound decisions as a child. And she was my friend, but she had very little influence on me because those other ones were doing the other things, and those other things had a greater influence on me. So she didn't know how to tell me, Uguti, what this one is doing is correct, what these ones are doing are not correct, because my mom is not a very good communicator. So she just ended up saying, they are bad.
All of
Because this is where I'm tilting. So then that should in turn just tell me, Guti, these ones that I'm hanging with are bad. When I can clearly think, then she will try and tell me, Guti, I wasn't saying all people are bad. I was just saying
Some of
that
them.
that group at that particular time was not good for you. And now I can see it even when that group tries to worm themselves back, I'm like, yeah, let me just be alone.
No, I don't. I reject. Guys, I want to also emphasize the importance of failure as a student. Like, it's so important and profound to fail as a student and actually experience those setbacks, because it builds you as a person. It builds you to being this being. And it doesn't only build you in terms of you being resilient, but it also builds you to actually be that person that knows and has experience in this thing.
Can I ask you
are you
when you
encouraging
say,
people to fail?
Wait,
Yeah,
I
Chief.
just want to ask when you say
Not failing in school, Chief.
yes, that's what I wanted to understand. Which aspect are you saying?
No,
is
I'm
good for
speaking
failure?
about-
You should say, you should put your
Opportunities that are, hey, Chief, we don't
yeah,
know.
you're gonna
Thank
confuse
you.
us.
You have experience.
I wanted-
You failed and you have experience.
I really wanted you to explain that part, because I don't think academic failure can benefit you, right? It can benefit you. It can help you build your character. Maybe if you had a different way of thinking in the previous year, it will allow you to think differently in the next. But some people, it takes time. When you fail, you get so discouraged that it takes you time to bounce back. And some people end up dropping out. That's why I don't promote academic failure, right?
So what should people do? They should.
I feel like don't walk around with the mindset that I need failure for me to have to be able to build my character.
But
rather walk around with a mindset of should failure come across me.
That's how I'm also trying to put it. It's not like I'm saying people should fail, guys.
That's how it
You
sounded.
shouldn't. But it's important, guys, to try. Like, I'm trying to emphasize that in if you're trying something for the first time, have the open mind that you're going to probably fail. There's a 50% chance that you're going to
Not
fail.
50, Melus.
50.
Not 50.
It's
Melus.
always a 50% chance.
No.
So are you
Okay,
saying?
what's the probability
Are you
then?
saying everything you do, there's possible 50% chances of that you might
If you're
fail?
probably studying that thing for the first time.
Can we not say 50?
Okay, what's the probability?
just-
I don't
Disagree
have a
with that.
probability, because I don't think anybody goes in with the mindset to say I'm going to fail, right?
Exactly.
Here's why. Because when a person starts, there's nobody that starts something with 80% energy. You start
Yeah.
everything with 100%. You put your all in it,
But you
right?
don't
And failing shouldn't determine your
when
next
you
decision.
I feel like if you put your all in it, don't put a percent on failure. Say I am leaving room for disappointment, but I'm not putting an amount. You can't say 50-50, because when you say 50-50, then you're going to put in 50% where you can say,
Yeah,
I
and
will
you
leave
be,
the
too,
other.
you be
about that,
comfortable
guys.
with
Cognitive-
failing.
there's
Failing
something
will
about
be
cognitive-
something that you.
Can I explain this clearly to you guys? Let's say I know this is a very broad example, but I want to try it. So
Also
let's say
articulate yourself properly, because if
Yeah.
you don't do that, then you
Hey.
will.
So guys, let's say you two are couples and you're going to therapists. There, the therapist, what they're going to do first to make you aware for the session to go well or effectively, they're going to tell you, guys, you're going to hate each other.
That's not failure. That's
No, it's
part
not
of
failure, Mara.
progress.
Listen.
Okay, let me listen.
They're going to tell you you're going to hate each other. It's a process of understanding the things that are going to be around your atmosphere, around your surroundings. So if you familiar to them, they don't actually have an impact to you. Yeah, but so if you are aware that you're going to meet ups and also downs in the business, if you're starting an opportunity, if you're starting your own career, I'm not basically speaking about academic career, but like you're trying something new out there in the world. You're trying content creation. You have to be aware, Guti, there's going to be a time when no one is going to watch your videos. There's going to be a video that's going to be watched by the whole world. The next video probably won't even be watched by anyone. Yeah, well, so you have to prepare yourself, because the next time it happens and no one actually watched your videos, you're going to be like, now they don't want to watch me anymore.
Well, if
Now
my
then,
my
that's when
therapist
you
would
fail.
say that, I'm changing therapist.
Wena. That's when
Honestly.
you fail. I feel like, you see, then that's when you fail. When you start saying, they're not watching my videos, I'm not gonna post anymore. That's when
But
failure
don't you
is
think-
effective.
but
That's what I'm saying. Don't come with a percentage, because failure is only effective when you allow it. If you start a business and you selling tribe coffee and nobody's gonna come, they're only buying 5 coffee beans, and then the next week they're buying 10 coffee beans, and then the next week nobody's buying coffee beans. If that time when nobody buys coffee beans, you don't produce coffee beans, or you don't go and try to see what's the problem that's making people not come back for the coffee beans, you haven't failed. If you stop and say, no more coffee beans.
Guys, I'm not saying people should fail.
No, this is what I need you to understand. I understand what you were saying. You were saying that people must leave room for disappointment. People must know that there will always be ups and downs, and success is not effective from the word go, right? But I also want you to make people aware of the concept that failure is not effective until you allow it.
Huh?
If you fall,
Failure
and
is
you-
not effective until you allow it.
Listen to what I'm saying. If you fall and you don't get up, you failed. You
But what
failed
if-
to stand up.
But the thing is, if you fall and you've never felt before, and
You're gonna say ouch.
You're
but
going to say ouch, and going to
something's
be like,
gonna tell you, get up, keep walking.
but it's not easy for that thing to come.
But Melissa, I feel like
I mean, as a person,
Because
you should,
it's a
as a
mental
person,
thing.
you should know that
Do
when you fall,
know,
when you
when
fall,
you
you
go
have
to a
get up.
gym, you go to the gym. There's something about the gym when you're lifting. Let's say you're lifting that, you're doing like a chest.
Yeah.
So if you're telling yourself, I want to do, it's something that you said also previously. If you tell yourself, I want to do 10 sets,
Yeah.
10 pull-ups or whatsoever, and then you get to 7, that's where when it gets difficult, and you can feel failure coming and dawning upon you, and you're like, it's possible that I might end.
but when it's dawning on you, that's
Yeah.
that's maybe
But-
my perspective of failure has changed completely, right? Maybe I don't think of failure the same way. I've read a couple of books, and in those books that I've read, they really changed my perspective of thinking about failure.
So what's
That's
your
why I'm
perspective
saying
of failure then?
failure is not effective unless you allow it. If you are walking around with a mindset, Yoguti, Mina, I started a business and it didn't work out, and then I left everything. You failed.
I'm not talking about that kind of failure. I'm talking about
Listen.
setbacks.
Thank you. Setbacks, not failure. Had you started and said setback from the start, this whole thing wouldn't be here.
But it
Now it sounds like it's the way you phrase your words.
Okay,
But when I
guys.
said articulate yourself properly.
Yeah.
setbacks, guys.
Yeah, you see now when you're starting having that mentality of I have to fail in order to be successful. No,
But
that's not
sometimes it
it.
helps, guys.
No.
It helps.
Sometimes
It
it doesn't
helps
always
sometimes.
work. It doesn't always
Because
work.
remember, some people don't even experience failure at all. Some people experience failure in different aspects of their lives.
I don't think there's no one that has ever experienced failure if you put yourself out there and
Can
you
I
try.
tell you career-wise now? I know someone, I know this person personally to my heart. She has never, I'm going to involve even academic failure.
But there are different failures, guys.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There are like different, like some people career-wise do not experience it. Like career, if failure bashaya lapha ku life, umuntu akashati, umuntu akabi nengane, imshaya that side.
Mara, do you know-
But career-wise, there's nothing.
It's okay. It's like this, ne. Meaning, I'm speaking about this failure, this setbacks. Angazi ngibeke kanjani.
Setback.
It's a point whereby you set objectives, ne. You set your own objectives. Let's say we wanna get to 10,000 views on this video, and then we end up getting to 5,000 views. Yeah, but it's a failure for us that we're not able to get to that 10,000 views, guys. But it's also a setback that we.
Can I get, we are not talking about failure. We're talking about setbacks. Melusi cannot articulate himself properly like
Guys,
me
it's the-
in the previous episode.
Guys, so do you think? Can you comment down below and tell us whether is it failure or setback?
It's a setback.
And also, I agree with myself.
You have to fail.
You have to
in
agree
order
with
to be
yourself.
successful.
You
I
only
agree with
have
me.
yourself to back yourself.
Guys, I agree with me and I stand with me so much. But I think we've reached the end of the episode, guys. So do comment. Don't let failure hold you back from commenting.
Yeah, don't let setbacks.
Don't
and
let those-
subscribing.
Don't let setbacks, don't let the setback of not having data or load shedding
Yeah.
affecting your Wi-Fi. That's setback.
It's a setback, guys. It's a setback. I said it. They said it. And the student podcast said it. So till next time, we meet again on the #1 student podcast. And I say, yes. And do comment and follow us on all social platforms: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Subscribe also on YouTube. And don't forget to buy the #1 real coffee, tribe coffee. Especially maybe the summer times. I like it. So see you next time, guys. Adios. Sharp, sharp. Students, it pains us to know that 80% of you haven't subscribed to the channel. So we would like to ask you, whether you are a student, a lecturer, or professional working class, please hit the subscribe button down below. And just by that small act, you're going to be helping us to being the biggest student platform in the continent. So can you please subscribe and share the channel to more people, and we promise to give you the most valuable content that you've ever experienced and give you the best guests that you can. Thank you so much.